Hi, I'm just here to say that oh wait, let me get some light on the subject here. Okay, I'm just here to say that there's infinite dimensions in life because of all of the objects in space. I mean, in your atomic life that you can have. You know, if you think about how much stuff there is, how much junk you can have in life, it's infinite amounts of stuff. I mean, there's stuff everywhere. And if you have a piece of paper and you rip it into a million pieces, each piece of paper is another object. So, I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And if you have a bowl of rice, each piece of rice is its own object. So, I mean, honestly, each piece of rice is its own object, and that is and every object in your life is a dimension, because it's its own object. So it has a dimension. That is a dimension of it has its own box. You know what I mean? It has to have its own little house. So yeah, and it has to have its own place to go when you're not you're not using it, or if you're gonna use it, or if and once you think of a list of stuff to get at the store, that's you have that. It's a probability. So probability is the list of stuff you have at the store. It's got its own place because you're probably going to get it. Well, you will for sure, because you have to have your grocery list, and you have to have your shampoo and your conditioner and your comb and garbage bags and stuff to clean with, and you have to have your eyelash curler if you use one and stuff, and you have to have all your makeup. And if you like to plant a garden, you have to have your stuff for your garden. And if you want to have, maybe you need a new roof, every single shingle is something. And every little piece of sand on the beach is something. So if you go to the beach, you have as many pieces of sand are on the beach in your experience. That's a lot of pieces of sand. You know what I mean? So there's a million, billion, zillion, jillion, hillion, million, willion little boxes in your life for all those pieces of sand. Each have one, because the whole entire beach is made up of individual pieces of sand. And even though the beach is, they have the beach and then they have the ocean. Think about the ocean. Each little piece of water has its own little box. It sure does. It has to, because it's the ocean. Even though it's the whole entire ocean, it still has each little drop of water. And then there's the sky and all the birds and everything in the world, because you are living on Earth. So you have the whole Earth. Oh my goodness, I'm yawning like crazy. You want to see my new pants? They're so cool. You should see them. You should see my my jacket too. Look, see all that? It's nice. It's crazy. Nice bright colors. I love it. But yeah, so you have the ocean in your life and all the fishies inside of there and all the little things inside of the ocean and all the birds and all the bears and all the everything that's alive on the earth and all the planets, and you have the universe in your existence and your life. You have to have it. I mean, everything that is in the universe and that is that you need to survive. I mean, you need the sun and the moon, and without the sun you wouldn't have the warmth for you to live, and you wouldn't have the ocean. You need Oh my goodness, I'm yawn. I have for yawns. I have a box for yawns. I sure do. And for my cup, want to see my drink cup? I have something for my drink cup. Look, it's huge. I can't pick it up. See? It's giant. I have a box for my drink cup in static, a static box for my drink cup. Yeah, I do. But yeah, so I mean, they all got to fit in your life, so they must be pretty tiny boxes. Imagine that. They are pretty tiny. But that's why you know, why it's static too, because it's like, you know, electricity. You see that. That's why the universe has electricity too, because even the earth gets to choose if it wants stuff or not in its life. You know, but not much comes and goes from the earth, so that's why we don't have much electricity going through their life. I mean, their static, the earth's static field isn't much, you know. I mean, honestly, they don't have planets come and go much in the earth's life, you know, because it's, you know, I mean, everything's stable with the earth, you know. I mean, and the moon and the sun, that's, you know, that's not going to budge. You know, it's been there. I mean, that's there, you know. I mean, that has to be there because they all depend on each other, you know. I mean, that's what you know, that's how the universe works. They all, you know, without one planet, the other ones couldn't survive because they need each other. They're best friends. Of course, they need each other. Yeah, they hang out together. So, but yeah. So then, you know, that's why there's so many, so, you know, that's why that stuff's like that. It's all just, you know, static's weird. It's nothing you can even see. I mean, you can't even see that stuff. It's too little. It's tiny, whiny. It's a itsy bitsy witsy little tiny whiny. But so yeah. But that I like that. I like static. I think it's fascinating because inanimate objects, you know, I mean, and not only that is you have, you know, you have the fact that you know, when you buy something at first, let's say you know, you get a dress or something. And I mean, I just got this dress. Oh, I'll put it on later the next time I do a YouTube thing. But oh my God, I love it. It's so pretty. It's really pretty color green. It's just bright, really super bright. I love wearing neon colors. I wear them all the time, and it's got little flowers on it, really pretty ones. I don't like roses and stuff on. I like interesting flowers, like different kind of flowers. You know, not just regular roses. You know, they're kind of boring to me, but it's really pretty, and I love it. And it's got like a, you know, the panel dress, kind of like sort of, it has like a panel in front, and then it just goes around the back, and it has shorts underneath of it. Oh, it's so cute. Oh my God, it's so cute. And it looks super good on me. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like chubby wobby jobbers, but but it looks cute. And so so I'll wear it next time, and you can see it. But yeah, and so I love it so much. But you know, as it wears out and stuff, or fades or whatever, you know, it's not going to be like my favorite anymore. You know what I mean? So the line goes like slowly out, you know, because you start to not like it. You know what I mean? So it's not so much, you know, in your love zone. You know what I mean? You're not on the love zone. But like if someone else likes it, that line, like if someone knows that you have it and it's in their thoughts, that line for that particular dress is in their life too. They'll think, oh, wear that dress that you have, you know, we're going out tonight. Well, that line's in your friend's life too, because she's standing on it now too, because she's thinking, ooh, I love that dress. Yeah, wear it. If she's talking about it, it's in her life too, so that line runs from me to her. So that's how we're all really super connected too, and that's how come there's such of a, you know, that's why in your atomic self, you know, we don't have you know, all we have is our awareness. We don't have thought, and we don't have consciousness, and we don't have we don't have language, and we don't have writing skills, and you know, we don't have any of that. All we have is simply awareness. We're just aware. We're aware of the stuff that we have in our life, and our emotions are external, and so you know, if we you know, if we enjoy something or don't enjoy it, it's an external emotion. You know what I mean? So it will trigger, you know, the emotions that we have, which will be, you know, static, friction, you know, magnetism, or you know, magnetic, or electrical. It'll you know, that's what our emotions are. And so that's why it works like that. All we have is awareness. So, there's no way that anyone can ever, like, I mean, if all you have is awareness, basically there's not much you could do besides be aware of your external, of whatever you're doing in your life. You're just aware of it. That's all you are. I mean, you could never, there's nothing that you could really do besides be aware, of stuff, so, because what's happening is anything that happens in your life, basically like communication and stuff between you and your friend or something, is your celestial self is saying, oh, your friend just said, I love you, and, and you just said, I love you too. So that's how you know what you say, and that's how you know what your friend said back, and that's how you know that the TV is, because the communication between you and the world and the things that you hear from the world, and that's why you think you can hear stuff, but you can't, because what's happening is your celestial self is saying, ooh, the car just honked its horn, or ooh, someone just slammed the door, or ooh, someone just yelled at you, or something, you know what I mean? So you're not really hearing, and that's how come you were fooled into believing that you heard stuff and that your ears didn't shoot waves out your ear. You know what I mean? You're shooting light waves out your ear, but not, because you're illuminating the world, the universe. You're not hearing stuff. You're not seeing stuff. You're except for, well, you do have one place that you can see with that paper. You can see that one page. If you put an X on one side of the paper and then you put an X on the other side of a piece of paper, and you look at the X, okay, you close one eye and then you look at the X, and then you move the paper over, pretty soon the X will disappear. But like, duh, okay, just the X doesn't disappear. It's not like your eye can go, oh, I'm just going to make the X disappear. No, everything disappears. Everything, the X, the paper, and everything behind it. What happens is there's nothing there. It's invisible. Like, you can't see anything. You know what I mean? Like, if you look, it's hard to, and it's really bizarre because you can't do it in a dark room because you can't see in the dark, right? So you have to do it in a light room, and if it's light, and you do it on a piece of paper, you can't see, that you, and if you do it on a black piece of paper, you can't see that you wrote on the piece of paper. You can't see if the thing disappeared or not. All you can see is, I don't know. It's just weird. It's really weird because your mind, it's really tricky to your mind because what you see behind it is nothing really, kind of, in a way, because the paper's gone too. The paper's gone too, the paper and everything behind it. Everything's gone. So what you're looking at is space. That's the one spot where you can actually have vision. But what you're looking out of is your black hole. That's the black hole where, that's where your awareness will someday be out there it will bond with your consciousness. Your consciousness and your awareness will be together. As one, with your thought, consciousness, the soul will meet with your awareness, and then you will be aware of your consciousness, your soul, and thought, and then boom, you'll that's when you have passed on to your celestial self. But as for now, and it's so weird because if you really understand the whole concept, he didn't, I was almost going to say he didn't, as I was going to talk about. But I mean, however, if I was going to say, let's say somebody thought of this concept. They thought of everything because there's no way that someone can punk you, okay? No one can punk you, okay? Because your emotions are external, for one, okay? So, it's not like someone can make you sad because there's no sad. You don't get sad. I mean, when you cry and stuff, it's weird because I don't crying and stuff is like, I don't know what that is. Honestly, it's like it's kind of odd. I'm not quite sure what that is. I think that's Hitler. I think he did weird stuff to our mind, but whatever. But he could never capture us, like he could never hurt us or capture us or do anything to us like that. I mean, he might have, like, I don't know. I'm sure he did some weird shit, but he could never have done anything like Like, because honestly, we're an energy field, and he's a person too. So you know, I mean, he's an energy field, and all he has is his awareness, and there's nothing you can really do if all you are is aware and you don't have any consciousness. You know, you don't have any consciousness. You know, he doesn't have any consciousness either. You know, it's not special. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's not like we had an lobotomy and we're like somebody else has this consciousness and we're just the only ones that don't. No, it's like everything's like that. That's just how, you know what I mean? It's like, that's how it is. Okay, well, I don't know what happened. Where's my, oh, I got, see, he got me breakfast. But anyways, yeah. So, but now, okay, and your emotions are external and they're friction and magnetic and that, you know, so that you can actually make decisions about the things in your life, you know. If you don't like something, you can you know, you can show signs of that, you know, and then your celestial self has motion, so that your black hole, it moves, but it doesn't move you. It's just that your black hole moves, right? So you don't move, so that way no one can move and touch you. You know what I mean? No one can touch you. But like when you get beat up, like, why do you feel pain? I don't think you really do. I don't think we really do feel pain. I don't really think we feel pain. I think it's like something else. I think it's like I think like somebody told us that we feel pain for so long, like they say, that hurts. You know, well, if we believe, I mean, if you know, because like honestly, like I had an ectopic pregnancy and it exploded and I didn't feel it. Like the doctor said, oh, that hurts worse than childbirth. Well, after she said that, I'm sure if I had another one, I would say it hurt, but I didn't feel it. I really didn't feel it. And I honestly never felt pain until like my back hurts sometimes now, but I don't know why. You know, I don't know why all of a sudden my back hurts now. You know, but that's weird. See, I got a sandwich. This is in my box now. My box is of static. I know. Eating is weird too. Like what goes on with that? Like, we interact with these inanimate objects. I find that bizarre. I really do. But we're told that, oh, our celestial self tells us that we're crying and stuff. I guess it, you know what? Oh, you know why? Because our celestial self doesn't have awareness. It only has consciousness. So our celestial self is not, it only has consciousness. So just having consciousness, it doesn't know like what, it doesn't know, like it doesn't understand, like, you know, it doesn't understand, like when it says you're crying or you're eating your sandwich, all it knows is what you tell it. You know, your consciousness knows when you say, you make me so sad, I'm sad right now and I'm crying, you know, that it knows what you're you know, it knows what you're aware of. It knows what you're aware of course, because you're the awareness of the two of you. You're the one that's aware, so you're aware of everything that's going on. So it knows that you're aware that it's time to sit down and eat dinner. And so it says, okay, pick up your hamburger and eat, because that's what you were told to do, you know, from your parents and for whoever told you to eat. You know, that's what you're aware of. You're aware that you're supposed to pick up your sandwich and eat. So that's what your celestial self probably says that you're doing. You know what I mean? Because that's what you're aware that it's time to do. You're aware that you're hungry because you're told that. That's what you were told when you were little. You're told, well, it's time to eat because it's dinner time. It's time to eat. You should be hungry because it's 6 o'clock. So you better eat because it's time. You know, it's time to take a bath. You know, you went to school today and you must be dirty because you played outside all day and now you're dirty and you have to take a bath. You know what I mean? So that's how you know, how your celestial self knows that to tell you you're taking a bath. You know, I mean, that's what they do. But I think that, you know, I think that by the time you pass on to your celestial self, that your internal emotions being, you know, being that it's a system that was created by natural, the natural forces of nature, you know, by nature created the forces of nature. You know, I mean, those are the forces of nature, because all you have is awareness. You can't do anything with awareness. All you can do is be aware that you don't like something or you do like something, and nature is going to take its course, because the you know, your celestial self's going to say, you know, like if you're aware of the fact that, you know, like if you're, let's say something is in your face or whatever, you're like, you know, you're aware of the thing in your face, and then you're having a like a, you know, you're turning away, and you're sort of like, ew, you know, I mean, and you're having a negative, you know, it's going to be a negative sort of reaction, you know. It's a natural reaction. It's a natural thing to have an awareness. You don't want to be aware of that, right? You just don't want. I mean, awareness is something that you're aware of something, or you just don't want to be aware of it. You know, if you like it, you're aware of it, and you're cool with that. But if you're aware of something and you don't want to be aware of it, then you don't want to be aware of it. It's a very simple, basic thing where it's you don't have to have feelings or emotions or really anything other than awareness or no awareness. And it's either you want to keep your awareness, or you wish you could not be aware. You know what I'm saying? So the forces of nature can easily sense that type of thing, you know, like, well, not sense it, but they can, you know, I mean, it's an on-off thing. It's a yes-no thing. It's a black and white thing. It's you know, it's basically up or down, yes or no. It's equal. It's good or bad. It's very simple. So, you know, especially when it comes to other life forces, you know, if you don't particularly care for someone else, it's very easy to you know, decipher that, because, you know, if you're sitting next to someone and they're not very pleasant, you know, it's very easily deciphered, even by just plain old consciousness. If you're conscious and someone is sitting next to you and they're aware, you know, the consciousness is conscious of the fact that, you know, that that the awareness is over there going, ah! You know what I mean? I'm conscious of you pushing against, you know, pushing them away over there. You know, why are you pushing them away? I'm conscious, and I see you. You know, I see you, but I sense you. You know, I'm conscious, and I sense you. You know, consciousness is just a conscience of you know, if you're conscious, you're conscious, right? But if you're aware, it's different. You know, you're not necessarily, you know, consciousness is something separate, like from awareness. Awareness is more like, you know, you're aware of things, you know, of you know, you're aware that there's a hamburger sitting there. Consciousness doesn't necessarily mean that you're aware of anything, really. It just means that you're conscious and that you're awake. You know, the awakening. You're awake now. And if you're awake and someone sitting next to you is aware, you know, like I can be asleep and I can still be aware of someone in the room, you know, but, you know, if someone's awake and you know, they don't have to be like necessarily, you know, aware of like what's in the room. They could have their senses could be turned off, you know what I mean? They could not be able to, they're not aware, you know, they're just not aware of what's happening, but they're awake. You know, you don't have to be aware of what's happening, but you could just be awake. You know what I mean? Just maybe you're just like just awake, but you're just not aware of what's going on. So it takes two, you know, the two of you to actually figure out what's really happening, because they're awake, but you're aware. So the two of you together, basically, you're not really awake, you're just aware. So you're not even awake, really, you know? You just think you are because your consciousness is telling you that you're awake. So, you know, you're kind of just actually really kind of just sleeping right now, and your consciousness is telling you that you're awake. So, you know, everything that you're doing right now, you're doing asleep. Your consciousness is telling your sleeping body, you're sleepwalking right now, and your consciousness is all, open your eyes, and you're actually sleeping, you're all, it's just because your conscience tells you to open your eyes. So you're all dead asleep, and you're walking around talking and stuff. But you're just moving your mouth, actually, because you're not really making any sound, because we can't even really talk. Because you're asleep, you can't hear anything anyways. So there's no sound. It's just that your conscience is telling you in your brain, is just, there's a signal, an atom shooting into your brain that's whispering silently in your mind, I'm talking, you know, that's telling you that you're making a sound to come out of your mouth. It's all, you're awake. Honestly, I pinky swear you're awake. But really, you're not. So, honestly, no one's abusing you, and no one's hurting you or doing anything to you. But, you know, honestly, at least you have a chance to see that if someone's hurting you and abusing you and raping you and killing you and hurting you, then at least you know what they would do if they were awake. You know what I mean? But at least you know that's not happening to you. But if they were awake, that's what they would be doing. Because that's what they're thinking, you know? Oh, no. Look, that was Drooly. Drooly was on TV right now. That guy, man. I don't know. You know what? It's because, you know, I've been around a long time, and I know a lot of stuff. And he rubs me wrong, because there's scientists out there that aren't very nice. And, you know, a lot of them Republicans out there, man, they're just like, hey, man, do me a favor, do this for me, and I'll let you have some space time, you know, or whatever. And they're dirty. They'll do that. They'll make like a corona DNA seeking virus that, you know, because that the coronavirus, you know, like it seeks a certain DNA. Like if they mix the virus with your DNA, and then they just let it go out into the wood, out like the door, it'll find you and it'll get in you specifically. It's a specific thing. It's a specific virus for a specific person. If you get it, they got your DNA and they mix it with your DNA specifically. Like it's a specific thing. You know, it's a DNA. It's a military weapon, but it's a specific seeking thing. It was a military weapon thing. It's a specific hunting thing. It's a specific thing. It's for one person and one person alone. You know, that's what it does. It only gets one person. That's what it's for. So whoever gets it, they made it special for you. Uh-huh. I don't believe all those people have it. I think they're lying. I swear to God. I think they're lying. I think they just need to break out with all that millions and trillions, so because the prison system is falling apart right now. I think they just need to pocket a bunch of money, so they broke out the trillions, you know, because they were actually hiding it. And they just want to beat up a bunch of people and capture them and put them in prison and make a bunch of riots and stuff, so because they can want to fill the prisons. Because they're very bad people. You wouldn't believe what they do to people in prison. They use them for studies against their will. They don't even know. I did some time in prison, and they friggin' stuck that coronavirus in me when they first did it. But they gave me the antidote because they got so scared because all these women died. A lot. And they covered it up. But they gave us the antidote really fast because they were, oh my God, people died. What do we do? Rip, give the rest of them the antidote real fast, you know? So they called me back because the minute that they put him in him, they just went, and they died, right? So they called me back to my, they're all, Kathy, here, well, we're going to give you a pneumonia shot really fast. Here. And I'm like, what? Okay. It was the antidote, because that's how fast it killed them that fast, And so I was like, okay, thanks, And they go, well, if you have any side effects, let us know. I'm like, okay. So I haven't gotten sick a day since that, but so because it's good for, they said, I want to say 20 years, but I think it's 10. But I won't get, I'm not gonna get sick for nothing. And then they called me out of the blue to put me here where I'm at now. It's just like a shelter. Oh, well, look, there he is. Look, there he is. See? Can you see him? See? He did that to himself. Ripping people up, things apart, trying to make that corona thing. I'm telling you, I know it. That's what they do. They make coronaviruses, and they put him all in the prison. People, look, there's Einstein. Poor guy. He's so cute right there. But I don't know, man. They're trying to make it sound like Einstein. Like all these quantum theory things right now that they're coming up. I mean, put it this way: science is moving so fast right now that it's incredible. I mean, it really is. Like, they've come, I mean, honestly, it's just insane. And especially technology is just, wow. And, it's crazy. And, they really don't need, money anymore. They've just got the answers. The answers are just there in their head. They just know the answers. They don't need equipment or anything. They just need to get the word out. They just need to talk about it. And everybody's going on YouTube and places. They don't need a lecture anymore. It's very simple. I mean, anybody can understand it. It's so easy to understand. I mean, I can understand, like, I can't, I mean, science is always been easy for me because I've always been extended learning, and I've had 20 years of college, 25 years of college almost. But, it's just always came really easy to me, and I've always been like an astrophilosophist. I've always wanted to be I was into psychology at first, and then I was going to take violent behavior and try to cure violence, but and then I got into like more like what I'm into now, like physics, and now I'm into the theory of everything, but philosophy is what really gets me now, because I want to branch off into like something about like ideology and consciousness, and find out like more about consciousness and the black hole and the transference of to your soul, and as far as that goes. But I mean, I'm going to talk about that like later. I have a lot more to say, so you guys will be hearing from me, especially. Ooh, I'm going to put my new pants on and my dress, and you can see that too while we're doing it. Okay, but I'm going to finish my breakfast, and then I'll come back in a little while, okay? All right, bye.